My mom said, "Your sister gets everything from dad." I walked away and let them find out the truth. My mother once told me, "Your sister gets everything from dad." She wasn't lying, just not in the way she thought. Growing up, I was the quiet one. I loved books and sewing. My sister, she was the golden child, loud, pretty, easy to show off. Whenever neighbors dropped by, it was always her they saw. I remember once when I was 10, my mother was hosting brunch for her bridge club. I'd helped cut fruit, wore my neatest dress. She caught my eye and mouthed, "Not now." Later she said, "You're just hard to explain." Dad was different. He was quiet too, a machinist with oil under his nails and kind eyes. He noticed things. My perfect math scores, he taped them to the fridge even when mom rolled her eyes. When dad retired, we thought we'd have more time together, but one small slip on the back steps changed everything. The broken hip, slow recovery, then the wheelchair, and suddenly he was invisible to mom and my sister. They hated seeing him still, so they stopped seeing him at all. Dinner's out, trips away, don't worry, they'd say, "You're good at this." And I was. I bathed him, fed him, made sure the garden he once loved didn't swallow itself whole. Then I noticed the money was gone. His bank statement stopped coming. When I asked, mom just smiled. "We handle it now. Easier that way." They'd taken power of attorney, signed the papers behind my back. They spent his savings on spas, new dresses, weekend getaways while I was wiping drool from the corner of his mouth and telling him it was okay. One evening, when he could barely speak, he squeezed my hand and whispered, "Don't wait for permission." A week later, I found it, an envelope with my name on it. Inside was a lease for a small apartment he'd paid the deposit on. A tiny piece of freedom, just for me. And tucked behind that, receipts for a wedding venue deposit. He knew about the hospice nurse I'd fallen for. He knew I'd never spend a penny on myself, so he did it for me. When dad passed, I was the only one there. Mom and my sister didn't even answer the phone. I arranged everything. Flowers, church, casket. They showed up late in black suits like they'd lost something precious. After the funeral, they didn't even wait for the flowers to wilt. They sat me down and shoved a waiver in my face. "Sign this. Don't contest the estate. You don't live here anymore." I signed it, packed my bags, took only what mattered. Dad's framed photo, his old garden notes, the envelope with my name. 3 days later, my phone rang. Mom's voice was sharp. "Where's the money?" Turns out they'd counted on dad's account to cover their cruises. Fancy dinners, new cars, but dad had spent what he wanted on me. On a tiny apartment and a quiet wedding, they'd never checked the balance. They assumed he'd sit quietly forever, waiting for them to drain him dry. So when they asked for help, I didn't say a word. I hung up, blocked their number. The day I moved into that tiny apartment with my new husband, I hung dad's letter by the door. They always said my sister got everything from dad. Turns out, so did I, just not the part they could touch.